My husband said, "Your mother's nursing home visits are pathetic. Stop wasting time on her." So I never visited again. That decision shattered his reputation completely. My husband Greg said those words while I was packing homemade cookies for my mother's weekly visit to Riverside Care Center. He stood in the kitchen doorway with his arms crossed and that look on his face. Your mother doesn't even recognize you anymore. Those visits are pathetic and you're wasting entire afternoons sitting with someone who thinks you're a nurse. Stop going. It's depressing to watch you chase after her approval when she doesn't even know who you are. I felt my hands stop moving and I stared at the cookies I'd spent 2 hours baking because Mom always loved snickerdoodles even though she couldn't remember teaching me the recipe. Greg walked over and took the container from my hands. "I'm serious, Lauren. You need to stop this. It's unhealthy and it's affecting our life. Every Wednesday you disappear for 4 hours to sit with a woman who's already gone. I want my wife back." I looked at him and saw he genuinely believed he was being reasonable. "Okay," I said quietly. "I won't visit her anymore." Greg smiled and kissed my forehead like I'd just agreed to something wonderful. "Good. Now we can actually enjoy our weekends without you being all sad and distracted." He put the cookies in the trash and walked away. I stood there watching snickerdoodles disappear under coffee grounds and wondered when my husband had become someone I didn't recognize. That Wednesday, I didn't go to Riverside. I stayed home and cleaned the house while Greg was at work. My phone rang 3 times from the nursing home, but I didn't answer because Greg said I was wasting time and he must have been right. Thursday morning, the director of nursing called again. "Mrs. Holloway, your mother was asking for you yesterday. She had a very lucid moment and kept saying your name. We thought you'd want to know." I felt something crack inside my chest, but I said I'd been busy and hung up. Greg came home that evening happy because I'd made his favorite dinner instead of spending my afternoon at Riverside. "See? Doesn't this feel better? You're less stressed already." I nodded and served him pot roast while thinking about Mom asking for me. Friday afternoon, my sister Bethany called crying. "Why didn't you visit Mom on Wednesday? The nurses said she waited by the window for hours. She remembered you, Lauren. She actually remembered and you weren't there." I explained that Greg thought the visits were pathetic and wasting time. Bethany went silent for a long moment. "He said what?" I repeated Greg's exact words and Bethany's voice went cold. "You're telling me your husband called caring for your own mother pathetic and you just agreed?" I felt defensive. He's right that she usually doesn't recognize me. Maybe it is pointless. Bethany said something I couldn't quite hear and then hung up. Saturday morning, Bethany showed up at our house with our brother Kyle. Greg answered the door and they pushed past him into the living room. "We need to talk about what you said to Lauren about her mother," Bethany said, and her voice had an edge I'd never heard before. Greg looked confused. "What are you talking about?" Kyle stepped forward. "You told my sister that visiting her dying mother was pathetic. You threw away cookies she made and told her to stop wasting time on the woman who raised her." Greg's face flushed. "That's not exactly what I said. You're twisting my words." Bethany pulled out her phone. "Lauren, repeat exactly what Greg said to you about Mom." I felt trapped between my husband and my siblings, but I told them word for word. Greg tried to interrupt, but Kyle held up his hand. "Let her finish." When I got to the part about Mom being already gone, Bethany started recording on her phone. "Say that again, Greg. Tell us how you really feel about a woman with Alzheimer's trying to see her daughter." Greg's face went from red to white. "You're recording this? This is a private family matter." Bethany smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "Mom's health is a family matter. You're just the guy who married in, and now everyone's going to know exactly what kind of person you are." Kyle pulled out his phone and started typing while Bethany kept her camera pointed at Greg. "I'm posting this in the family group chat right now. All 43 relatives are going to hear what you said." Greg lunged for Kyle's phone, but Kyle was faster. Too late. It's sent. Within 30 seconds, my phone started buzzing with messages. Full story is linked below or on my channel.